Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. So, we have come to the final session of this Vedanta course. In Vivekachudamani, we have seen very rare to get these three things: Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam and Mahapurusha Samshraya. To get the human body itself is very, very rare. Because in this world there are so many other species, animals, birds, etc. So to get the human birth itself is very special, very rare. And there are lakhs and lakhs of human beings, but how many of them have got this kind of desire for the higher living, or desire for the moksha, liberation? So when we have got that, we are really blessed. It is because of Ishvara Kripa only. And after that, if we can find a teacher and if we can have association with a teacher or any Mahatma for that matter, Mahapurusha Samshrayam, it is indeed a great blessing. So it is out of Ishvara Kripa only you get a Guru. And then with Guru Kripa, you understand the scriptures. And then when you put in sincere efforts, that is Atma Kripa. Then you know the self and abide in the self. So having got all these three things, Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam and Mahapurusha Samshrayam, if you are not going to apply ourselves sincerely, it is Atmahani. It is as if self-suicide, because we don't have much time. Actually, we don't have much time. Dhinayaminyau sayam prataha shishira vasantau punarayataha kala kridati gacchati ayuhu tatapina munchati ashavayu. Meaning the morning comes and then it goes, then the evening comes, the night comes, goes. So like that the time flies. Kala kridati Gacchati ayuhu, and the life ebbs away. Every day we are walking towards our own graves. So there is no time to waste actually. There is no time to waste. Therefore, sincerely, diligently, we have to apply ourselves in this Adhyatma sadhana. This is the first thing. Second thing is, we have to develop qualifications to become a true student. There are fourfold qualifications. What are those? Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampatti and Mumukshutva. Only when we become a fit student, we can walk this path of Vedanta. We can understand clearly and try to abide there. So Viveka means discrimination between what is real and what is unreal. What is Atma, what is Anatma. This is discrimination. Once when you discriminate, when you clearly know which is the truth, the Satyam, which is the Atma, you should withdraw from the Anatma, the false. This withdrawing from the false and abiding in the self is Vairagya. So, Vairagyameva Abhayam, this Vairagya is very essential if you have to walk this path. By indulging in the world, always getting attached to the world, one cannot turn within and know the self. Therefore, Vairagya is very important. Then all the Shataka Sampatti, wealth like Shama, Dhamma, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhana, you all know. Shama means mind should be peaceful and quiet. Dhamma means sense control. the senses should be kept in its own place. Uparati means as far as possible we have to withdraw from the world, not always revel in the world. Shraddha means faith. Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satya Buddhi Avadharana. You have to find out how it is true, the Shastras and the Guru Vakya. That is a positive approach. Shraddha. And then Titiksha. Titiksha means what? We have to go through everything without any complaint and without making a big issue out of it. That is Titiksha. And then Samadhana means always keeping the mind, trying to keep the mind focused in the self. Samadhana. So these 6 wealth we have to gain. And then Mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam means what? The desire to know the self, to know the truth. Why? That alone can liberate us. See, I keep telling you now, only infinite can satisfy us, not the finite. Howsoever we struggle in this world, aggrandizing, indulging, but the finite can never satisfy us. Only the infinite can satisfy us. And what is infinite? The truth. That is, our own true self is infinite. Paramatma is infinite. So that alone can satisfy us. If you want to be truly liberated, if you want to be truly blissful and escape from all sorrows, then this is the way to abide in our true self. So this is Mumukshutvam. And then Shankara, he started explaining what is Atma, Anatma, Viveka. What is Anatma? Whatever is seen. Drishya Padartha. Drishya means what? Whatever is known, whatever is seen is Anatma only. Because Atma is the seer, the real seer. In fact, is the essence of the seer. So therefore, whatever is seen is what? Anatma. So the 3 bodies he explained, the gross body, the subtle body and the causal body. The causal body is the cause for the other 2 bodies. So all these 3 are Anatma, which includes the gross body and then the sense organs and the mind and then even the Vasanadi, that is the causal body. All this is Drishya Padartha. We have to withdraw our attention from all this. And then what is Atma, the self? Ajo Nitya Shashvatoyam Purana. Satchidananda Swarupaha. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So we should try to keep our mind always in the self. For that we have to be alert and vigilant. While we are living our day-to-day life, we should see to it that we are not attached to anything not self, anything which is not self. We should always remain in our own self. This is the real sadhana actually. So in the seat of meditation also, you remain a sakshi and not meddle with any thoughts. So you remain as your own self. And while leading your day-to-day life also, do not get entangled anywhere. Don't get attached anywhere. And always remain as the pure self. So this is the real sadhana. So what happens when you do this sadhana? Brahma Atma Aikya Bodha happens. See, that is ultimate. Brahma Atma Aikya Bodha. Meaning what? We see a world outside, Brahmandamana world. And we suppose that there should be a higher intelligence which is behind this world, which has created, running the show. So we call that as Brahman. And then we know we are all jivas, we are living here, alpa jivas. So this is jiva, me, myself. The Shastras reveal, the Mahavakya reveals, Tat Tvamasi, you are not this jiva, you are not this miserable entity. In fact, you are the Paramatma yourself. See, this is the Advaita Vedanta. Meaning Tat Tvamasi, that thou art. But Swami, how is it possible? Ishvara is all powerful, he is all pervading, he is all knowing, And we are very, very miserable creatures with limited power, limited knowledge. How can that be this? How is it possible? Then it is explained, the differences are due to upadhis. Upadhis means different conditionings. The same Paramatma, the self, is conditioned by the body mind, the panchakoshas, the 5 different sheets. Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. Therefore, we appear as if limited, Jiva, not knowing much, not much powerful. But the Ishvara is the same Paramatma, the same self. It is functioning through Maya, the great power of the Lord. So therefore, he appears to be very powerful and all-knowing, etc. It is said very clearly, if the upadhis are transcended, upadhis are given up, then it is one principle only. Sivane Sivan Sulvanga. Meaning, the Jiva is nothing but Shiva only, or Krishna only, whatever. You can call any names. So that only. So like the example given is the ocean and the waves. Ocean appears to be huge and very mighty, powerful. And the waves, they rise and fall in the periphery. Waves are very small, very temporary. But if you see the truth, the essential nature is the water. Water alone is the ocean. Water alone are the waves. From the essential standpoint, water standpoint, the ocean and the waves are only one. When you think about the form and other things, then yes, ocean is, you cannot compare it with waves. Waves are tiny, minuscule compared to the ocean. But essentially, if you give up the akara, name and form, essentially it is only but nothing but water only. So, when you transcend your own body mind, upadhis, your own panchamaya kosha, panchakoshas, that is the body mind if you transcend, then you realize that the self within me is actually the self of all, that is Brahma Tattvam. The self of all pervading, infinite, and which will never perish. It is all blissful. This is what we realize. This is the vision of oneness. This is the ultimate vision. I am not this limited entity, body mind. When I go deep and know my true nature, that thou art. You are not the self of this body mind, you are self of all. You are in fact the substratum of the whole universe. And you are infinite and you will not perish. Ajo nitya shashvatoyam puranaha. See? Satyam jnanam anantam brahma. So you are Satyam, the pure existence. Jnanam, the pure consciousness which illumines everything. Anantam, the infinite. When this is true, what happens? What happens actually? In the Vijnanamaya Kosha, in the intellectual sheath, somehow this Atma Chaitanyam, which is our own true self, it expresses as a reflected consciousness. It's called as Chitchaya, Chidabhasa. There are very many names for that. It reflects, and then that creates I thought, identified with the body mind, it says I. So this is a false identification. We are not this body mind, but somehow we feel I am this body mind. This happens through the Vijnanamaya Kosha. When the reflected self reflects, when the self reflected in the Vijnanamaya Kosha, and then it says I identify with the body mind. And then all the samsara starts. Then we see a world outside, other than us, and then likes and dislikes, and then running after something or running away from something. This is samsara. So now when you realize that the self is self of all, how to go about? Now this ego self is playing havoc. It is creating the idea of ahankar and mamakaram, I and mine. So that is the root cause of all samsara dukkha. So this has to be handled. So traditional Vedanta Shastra says, Do not identify with the body mind. That is not you. Contemplate on your true self. So those 10 verses are given. What is your true self? Jati niti kula gotra durakam nama rupa guna dosha varjitam. So all those things, 10 verses are there. You contemplate them. Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. So like that you contemplate. Do not identify with the body mind. Be jagrada, awake, and always trying to contemplate on the self. By continuously contemplating on the self, you become the self. Like that worm placed in that small, whatever, nest or whatever, it looks at its mother wasp. Why? It may sting, and there's so much of pain. So looking at the wasp, mother wasp, the worm becomes a wasp. Like that, continuously contemplating on the Parabrahma, Paramatma, the self, you become the self, or you become one with the self. So this is traditional Vedanta thought. First of all, not to identify with the body, mind and all, and contemplate on the true self with the help of all these shlokas. And in the seat of meditation, other method is, whatever may be the thoughts, they are all false. I am just Sakshi Matram. I have nothing to do with these thoughts, this body, mind, all these ideas and concepts, and remain as a Sakshi, just a witness. That is another way of approach. When you remain as a witness, all the thoughts will lose its power to bind you, and then you are liberated. Without thoughts, there is no world. So when the thoughts subside, everything subsides. Then the Sakshi becomes the true self only. So there is nothing to witness. And third approach given by Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is, do not worry about any thoughts. Find out the source of all thought, which is the I thought. And ask from where this I is arising. What is the source of this I thought? So keep the attention on the I thought. And dive deep within. So the I will perish. When the ego self perishes, then aham aham taya spurati hrit swayam. The true self is revealed. When the truth self is revealed, it is Purnam. Purnam means what? Everything is included in it. Nothing is excluded. Everything is self only. The vision is everything is self only. So that is the highest realization. So Tat Tvamasi. So that which is behind the world is the self which is behind this Nama Rupa also, this body mind also. So then, when you are abiding there, the vision is what? Everything is self only means what? Self alone is. And whatever you have been thinking is your own imagination. Other than the self, whatever you are thinking is your own imagination. Like the mud pot is made of only mud. If it identifies one pot, then it alienates other pots. When it identifies the mud, then all the pots are the mud only. Something like that. So the vision is very important. To gain that vision, there are three methods. One is, do not identify with the Anatma and contemplate on Atma. Number two, just be a Sakshi. Don't get involved with anything. Don't meddle with your thoughts. Remain a Sakshi. Number three, try to find out the source of all thoughts. As far as I know, see, I can only share whatever I have been taught and I have been contemplating. So then that is the way to go and merge or abide in the self. So the vision is very significant. Here it is, mind-boggling. So once when you are there, still the game is not over. Why the game is not over? Because the vasanas are still there. So therefore, the Upadesha is, you try to abide in the self always. Do not once again go back into the world, swayed by the sense objects, or do not get attached to anything. Remain in yourself always. So abide in the self. Odungi iru. Uditta idathil odungi iruttal. So abide in the self. That is real nishtha. So by the avoidance, the vasanas are slowly, washed out. When all the vasanas are washed out, vasanakshaya, manonasha happens. What is manonasha? The mind will not come again. In fact, the mind only is creating the world. The mind only is creating the jiva. The mind only is creating the samsara. So when you are abiding in the self, no more the mind will rise. So therefore, vasanakshaya and manonasha, that is the goal. The mind will not rise again. That state is very important. So that is called as sahaja. Sahaja means mind always abides there and there is no effort there. Prashanta chitta. So that is Jivan Mukti. For such a Jivan Mukta who is abiding in the self always, there is only Anandam, Paramanandam. And he doesn't see the world at all other than himself, only the self. And he revels in the glory of the self. It is Anandam, Paramanandam. And then he exclaims, where is the world? Where has it gone? Even now I have been seeing this world. Where has it gone? Meaning what? There is only pure consciousness. And there is nothing else. Such a state, he is called as a Jivan Mukta Purusha. Effortlessly, he is abiding in the self always. That is Jivan Mukta Lakshanam. So for him, no karma bandhanam. Meaning Sanchita karma and the Aghamya karma is all burnt by the fire of knowledge. That is done already. And the prarabdha, first it is said only for the body mind, not for him, because he is abiding in the self always. That also is said to satisfy us, our curiosity. Why he is living this way, why he is suffering or enjoying. Bahya drishya it is said. But from his standpoint, there is no body mind for him also. Therefore, there is no karma bandhana at all. Not all these three karmas, no karma for him. He is totally liberated. So, for him, this Videha Mukti is only a formality. Why? Already he is one with the self. The snake has left, there is only the skin remaining. So, the Mahatma has left as if the body mind is available for others to see. And as per the wind's direction, the skin of the snake moves here and there. Like that, whatever the prarabdha, the body mind, whatever we call it, so accordingly the body mind. But he is beyond because he has become one with the self. From his standpoint, there are no more imagination, no more superimpositions, no more upadhis. So for him, absolutely there is no concern about the body mind, no karma bandhana. This body, whether it is remaining or falling, for him absolutely it is nothing. Like it is said, the garland around the neck of the cow. Whether the garland falls or it remains, it doesn't matter at all. So therefore, to reach that state and to abide there continuously, that is Jivan Mukti. That is the lakshya of all the sadhaka. So for that we need the Guru's grace. See, with the Ishvara Kripa, we find the true Guru. With the Guru's Kripa, we understand the clarity is his prasadam. Thelivu Guruvin Tirumeni Kandal. Thelivu Guruvin Tirunamam Seppal. Thelivu Guruvin Tiruvarthai Hettal. Thelivu Guru Sindittal Dane. Meaning what? When you look at the Guru, you get clarity. Just by looking at him, you get the clarity. What clarity you get? He is serene and peaceful. Maunam Vyakya Prakatitapara Brahma Tattvam Yuvanam. He is so serene and peaceful. So looking at him, you are inspired. He is very contented, not running after anything. So Thelivu Guruvin Tirumeni Kandal. Just to look at him, his physical form itself is so fulfilling. It gives you a lot of clarity. Thelivu Guruvin Tirunamam Seppal. To chant the name of the Guru is once again very purifying. That gives you clarity. Why? The name has got a great power. We have seen in the Bhakti Sudha also, na? The name has got purifying effect. So when the mind is purified, the vasanas are slowly removed, then you get clarity, sattva. That is, you get a lot of clarity. Thelivu Guruvin Tiruvarthai Ketal. When you listen to his Upadesha, that is absolute clarity you get. There is nothing like that. And you contemplate on it, you get clarity. And then, Thelivu Guru Sindithaldane. If you meditate on the true form of Guru. What is the true form of Guru? Your own self. That is his true form. So meditate on the true form of Guru, you are liberated. You abide there and you are liberated. So that is everything. So Guru is our Lakshya. And Guru is the path. Whatever he has revealed is the path. So that is why service of Guru is very important. It purifies. So only if we are intellectually sort of trying to understand, sometimes for some people it is not enough. For great jnanis it is exceptions. But for other jivas it is said you have to develop devotion also in the heart. That is why great Shankaracharya has done so many stotras. So we should have some Ishta Devata and develop some sort of love for, devotion for that Ishta Devata and try to offer everything at his feet so that we are not concerned about the worldly affairs, worldly things. Mind is available for the higher contemplation and abiding. So devotion is also very important. Swaswarupa Anusandhanam Bhakti. He says, na? So for him, according to Shankara, Swaswarupa Anusandhanam, always focusing on the self, is bhakti. But when we do not know what is self or how to focus, then at least have a Nama Rupa, a personal God, Saguna Sakara. Why? If a devotee really wishes, he can come, the Paramatma can come in any form and he can bless you according to your wish, according to your bhavana. So take his name and worship him, surrender everything at his feet, and then that really helps you to dive deep within. So this bhakti also is a really wonderful thing. So with the Shraddha Bhakti and with the Guru Bhakti and then with the Shastra Vichara and then Achara, by living that, then we purify ourselves and the vasanas are reduced. We get more and more clarity and then we abide more and more in our own self. And then there is Anandam only. There is only pure consciousness. There is nothing else. Akashat patitam soyam, toyam sagaram pratigacchati. Every water droplet should reach the ocean sooner or later. So all of us, we think we are different and we are bound. We have to reach the ultimate. From the absolute standpoint, there is nobody. There is nowhere to go, there is nothing to reach. But we feel we are bound and we have to attain something. Yes, from that standpoint also, if you are sincere, success is sure for the sincere. So what is sincerity? Whatever the Guru has said, we listen to it and take it to our heart and then contemplate on it and try to live that knowledge and try to abide in the self. So this is highest Shreyas. This is the highest Shreyas. So this is what we have to do. So again and again study the scriptures, contemplate on it, worship the Lord, serve the Guru, serve the Lord, and then slowly and steadily gain the abidance. And when the vasanas are destroyed, the Chitchada Granthi goes, Avidya Kama Karma goes. That cycle is broken. And then you abide in the self, Anavaradam, always. So may Lord Adi Shankara and Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, Lord Arunachala, Apita Kucha Karunamba, they bless us to always abide in the self and to be the light and to others also. Om Purnamadah Purnamidham Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.